We told you recently about that alleged Suits reboot, didn't we, for NBC Universal, and how, of course, they don't have a lot of money to waste, spend, and secure, of course, the talents of the seventh in line, I think it was, down the cast of Rachel Meghan Markle, to reprise her role in that particular cable TV series. But as I also pointed out to you before, they actually don't need it, You see, the bottom line is this: when you have somebody associated with a show, people know about you anyway, so good or bad, the media will write it up, so you sort of get the press. Now, of course, the Suits staff, stars, whatever you want to call them, have reunited for a Super Bowl ad. This is prestigious in itself because the Super Bowl is an amazing event that's put on, every single year. And when you think about it, it's one of those things that, like Madonna said, once you've hit that, doesn't matter what you've peaked in your career, this is the big thing. And I thought she put on a spectacular show. There've been so many, haven't there, over the years? But of course, really, what went on behind the scenes with that alleged reboot? As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. How are you today? Thank you so much for joining me. Yes. Now listen, Shirley Eaton, yeah, that got a lot of interest, so thank you for that. I'm glad you enjoyed that story. As I say, I couldn't quite believe I was meeting the Bond girl painted gold. And I thought she was very brave though, don't you? Can you imagine as well, what if it didn't wash off? I suppose it's like in today's terms, isn't it though? Gravy brown, what am I talking about? Tanning. When you think about it now, the self-tanning foam stuff apparently gets all over your sheets, doesn't it? But of course, ladies of a certain era may remember that you used to tan your legs, didn't you, with gravy browning and put a pencil up the back when you didn't have tights or whatever they were, stockings, yes? You see, nothing's new, is it? It just gets regurgitated. Shirley Eaton, the Bond girl, that could have been something else, naturally remains up on our platform. Do take a look if you fancy taking a trip down memory lane. We all do, don't we, from time to time. Good for the grey matter. Back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now this, as I say, is fascinating again because really, when you think about it, it's huge PR. The Super Bowl is a big event. And yes, the cast of Suits are basically just rebooting themselves to get some attention, to let the world know that they could be coming back on a brand new series with or without. Well, I definitely think without, of course, the former royal known as Meghan Markle. And as I pointed out, you don't need her. You just don't need her. People will watch regardless, and they'll still get the stories by hinting she could be coming back in a cameo, she could be coming back as a voiceover, anything. They will do anything to make sure they get some publicity. But was Meghan, in fact, offered the Super Bowl thing? No, 100% no. Quite frankly, the reason being is I think it was very clear at the Golden Globes, not in the WhatsApp group, despite Patrick J. Adams, the royal negative, of course, reaching out to Meghan, sucking up to Meghan, whatever you want to call it. They don't require her, and that's what I'm saying. And even if they did, they couldn't afford the stupid fee that no doubt Meghan's agents would put forward. So they've got the publicity for the Super Bowl without Meghan. And this is the problem when you become a difficult celebrity. You then get used without your permission. It's as simple as that. You can put anything up saying Meghan's going to return back to this, or, she's been linked to an ad for that. They get the publicity. Eventually they deny it, but the story becomes in the ether. And that's really now what's happened with the Super Bowl event. Very clever move by those teams, of course. And as you could see, I thought they were a united group at the Golden Globes. One might suggest as someone now returning back to the show who wasn't a major star in the show could really upset the apple cart. Of course, Patrick J. Adams, for some explicable reason, seems to think that she's an added value. Of course, I'm sure she could add some attributes, talent-wise, maybe, acting-wise, but was she really that big a part of the show? Clearly, Super Bowl thought differently. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.